Hi, Gemini. Happy New Year. I hope that you guys are doing well. This is your reading for the time period of January 10th to February 28th, 2022. Before I begin with your reading, I just want to let you guys know that everything on my channel is interpreted. I'm using my ability and aid of spirit to get the readings done and the meanings of the cards. Okay? If you have questions, comments, or concerns about how I do my readings, I also have my tarot series available on my IG at Amani Ife 777. The series pretty much highlights my scientific interpretation of how I deal with tarot. Okay, and you can also DM me on there as well. I'm always on there. All right, so let's look into your reading and see what you should know and be aware of for the time period, okay? There's something that you can't stop thinking about. I just got that. Like it could be a person. I'm getting like a Leo element as well too. It could be a Leo. Um, you know what I feel? It could be a Leo and also people that you used to work with. The Leo could be amongst those people that you used to work with, or like it could just be a group of people that you used to work with, like in the workplace. It could be lovers. Leo could be like a past lover of yours. Fire sign energy, period. Could be a past lover of yours that the spirit is giving me the idea of rekindling. So if you have a lover that you cut ties with, then there's this potential of a rekindling. It doesn't have to be a rekindling like you're gonna go full blast back into a relationship with an ex per se, but a rekindling could also be that you're at a good place with an ex, meaning that you could bring them back in your space and you can just be friends with them, if that makes any sense. Okay, did I shuffle these? And that'll be for some of you. Not all of you are gonna have a fire sign that's an X per se. For a small percentage, some of you have a Leo that you're dealing with predominantly. They could be X. They could be a current partner. They could be someone that you're rekindling. You're healing from some old issues with. It just depends on the energy that is coming through. And then for another half of you, you're just dealing with fire sign. Period. So you could have Aries, Leo, Sag. That they're in your space or you just deal with them. All right. So here's a Sagittarian energy that is in the foundation. You could be dealing with a Sag currently, and they, the spirit is giving me an idea that they know what's best for you. So if you're dealing with a Sag specifically, knows what's best for you in whatever environment that you're interacting with this person in. They could be a family member, they could be a friend, they could be a new lover. Like I said, they could be an ex, they could be someone from the past. It just depends on who they are. They know what's best for you. You may also know what's best for them. I'm just gonna make sure I go both ways so that the messages are as clear as possible. Okay, that's why their energy is here. So knowing what's best for you could be that the spirit is telling me guiding you in the right direction. They may want to guide you in the right direction. So some type of direction that you are going in life right now, it either needs refining, or like you may be thinking that you're going in the right direction and you are. Like you could be really intuitively certain about that. But somebody else's view around you could be that you're going in a direction that needs to be altered slightly, or you're going on a path that needs to be altered slightly. The spirit is giving me the idea of psychological too. So I'm getting the idea of something is psychological. I mean, the temperance by itself is like, you need the patience to deal with your own deviating thoughts or your own inconsistencies or consistencies that you have with your own path. But the spirit is also giving me the idea that like something is implying something psychological that may be going on with you that somebody else may observe either as detrimental or pivotal to your path, if that makes any sense. Okay? Oops. The starting point has the universe. All right, so you have the universe here, and I'm getting this feeling of, should I leave? So whatever environment that you're in, it could be a home, it could be a work, it could be a love thing, it could be with someone that looks like this. I'm looking at this card. You could look like that. For some of you, if you're like a lighter skinned individual, whether you're a man or a woman, this may resonate with you, like the features, like the light skinnedness, or you're dealing with someone that looks like this, if that makes any sense. You could be a darker person, you're dealing with someone that looks like this. You're a man, you're dating someone, or you're dealing with someone that looks like this, okay? The universe energy that is here, right? They could be a friend of yours. It just depends on what's going on with the universe. So the universe being that it's here, and what I picked up would be that if it's a Sag that's underneath, you could be dealing with a Sagittarian energy. And then there's, you're trying to, but the idea of the Sagittarian energy being present would be you deciding whether you should keep that person around or keep them in your space. That's why the universe is there. So the universe is the world. Like in the traditional tarot, this will be the world card. Okay. I get the idea of finishing something as well. It could be finishing something with a Sag. It could be just finishing something, whatever. It could be a project. It could be finishing something that you have going on with someone that looks like this. Whatever that means. It could be a relationship. It could be a bond. If it's not finishing, the spirit said finishing. I don't know it could be a project or job. It could be a relationship that you're finishing with a Sag or with whatever those other signs that I picked up. It could be a man or a woman, but this is coming through as well as like a female that's on here. This is a female. She's dressed in a green dress. She's got some like a yellow satchel thing around her. Someone that she could be prominent. You may be interacting with someone that is prominent in society, and something may be finishing with someone that is prominent in society, whatever that means. Something is finishing with them. Finishing could be finishing school. Finishing could be finishing a project with them. You could have presented them with some type of objective and they ran with it, or they're not running with it. So that may reside with a Sag. That could reside with a Leo. Right? That could reside with a Sag, whatever fire sign that you could be dealing with. Or it's a friend. So you don't have to be this person. I feel like you could be in a situation where you're interacting with someone that fits these attributes and they're finishing or starting something with you. All right. The finishing could also be finishing up where you left off with an individual. They could be a lawyer. They could be a doctor. They could be a friend, a lover, whatever it is. The waiting position has the 8 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands with the universe and the Sag underneath, or whatever fire sign, the minor arcana 8 kind of brings in whatever fire sign. You could be traveling to the fire sign energy, or they're traveling to you. But I'm going to look at it as you could have interacted with the fire sign, whether they're a man or a woman. You could have interacted with them, with the universe, at one point, and you made a decision to finish something. That's why the 8 of Wands is in the waiting position. So either you interacted with them before and you left, and now you're waiting to travel either with or without them, right? The spirit is giving me an idea that a decision was made surrounding the fire sign energy. So a decision was made. Like something did come to a pause with your interaction with the Aries, the Leo, or the Sag element. All right. I'm also getting this idea of going with an offer, some type of offer. It could be like a business offer, an offer to buy a home. It could be an offer to do some type of collaboration. That could also be why the universe is there as well. So if you're not, for some of you, if you're not necessarily finishing could mean anything. If you're not necessarily finishing something with someone, then you're going to start something up with a fire sign, particularly either the fire sign is from your past or they're in your present. And it involves one element about it. For some of you, it involves a business. It does involve a business of some kind. I'm also getting an idea of a financial institution that is a part of this building, that's a part of you finishing something with someone. It involves a financial institution. So, or something is financial about the grounds at which you are meeting someone at, with the Eight of Wands in a waiting position. So I don't know if this has something to do with money. The spirits give me an idea of taxes. It could have something to do with taxes, like taxes that you shared with the fire sign, or they could have filed without you. Like they could have filed without you at one point, and whatever it is that they got as a return, a percentage of that. It could be from a business or something that you have with the fire sign, or one that you're looking to start up. But it's important to note that some type of tax situation that they were able to get, either with your information, like that they did that, or you operated with them on that level, you had that discussion with them. But another side of it is that they could have filed for something. They could have done it in your name. You could have done it in their name. But there's a percentage of that money that is supposed to be for you, or there's a percentage of that money that is supposed to be for them. So the finishing could have something to do with a financial affair that did not come to fruition between you and the fire sign. It didn't come into fruition, meaning that there was it had something to do with documents. It does have something to do with documents, and it could be like a signature that somebody used or somebody needs. That could be why you're either traveling to them, or vice versa, or they're there, or you deal with them in the present, and you're waiting for that kind of communication in order to travel. So you can't do anything until you have the right signature. You can't do anything until you have the right signature from the fire sign. That's why the Eight of Wands is in a waiting position. So you can't move from left to right like how we read. If you're moving, you can't move without their signature. You can't move without a particular document. You can't move with some type of percentage of pay that you're looking for them to give you, or they're looking for you to give them. With the Eight of Wands in the waiting position, right? Someone could be saying to you as well that they don't know where something is, or you're saying to someone, I don't know where it is. It could have something to do with a document. It could have something to do with a lease. It could have something to do with a deed, like paperwork for a property. Someone doesn't know where that is for some reason. Or it's a tax paper. Could be taxes for a property, taxes for a home, taxes for a car, taxes, whatever it is, insurance and things of that nature, that someone's communicating. They don't know where it is, or you don't know where it is, right? You could also be expressing to someone that you only want a copy of something, or they're expressing to you, like, all I need is the copy of what you have, or you're saying all I need is the copy of what it is that we did together in the past, or what we did a couple of weeks ago. It could be in August. Like, I'm looking at the numerological the numerological concept to this is that the 8 could have been August. Could be August of this year that something is important, or August of last year that something. So August 2021 may be important. August 2022 may be important. So either one of those August months is important. Last year or this year, right? Last year or this year. I kind of look at this, if it was August last year, I would see this to replace this spot, because this is like past, this is going towards the future, this movement. So the 8 of Wands may be, you may move in August, and I keep getting this idea of paperwork. You may move in August of this year somewhere else, and I get the idea of following. So moving in August of this year, someone may follow you. So someone that you left in the past may follow you, right? And the reason why they may follow you is they want some type of documentation from you, right? They also want to keep you on something. So if this is like an ex that you were dealing with, some type of partner that you were dealing with in the past, they either did something without your permission. Like, you could have broke it off with them, or you don't deal with them right now in the present, you do or you do not. But I just get this idea that you're moving forward with someone or something new, but then by August I get revised paperwork. By August of this year, or months leading up to August of this year, you may need to revise some type of document, or you need to revise some type of paperwork, because someone that you were dealing with, they have you on something still, whatever that means. They have you on something still. Having you on something still. Oh, very interesting. I get an active employee. An active employee. Someone may have you could be an active employee somewhere right now, but someone has you listed as an active employee somewhere that you are no longer. Interesting. Someone has you as an active employee on a document that you are no longer an active employee on. For some of you, another percentage of you are an active employee somewhere. But I'm also getting the idea, and that's knowingly, but I also get the idea that you are listed as an active employee somewhere that you no longer work. So the 8 of Wands, meaning by August, I investigate. So you may not notice that until August of this year. You may not notice something there. So this could be something happening either with a partner, or like an ex, or a new person, or this is something that is happening to you between an old job and a new job. I mean, that's pretty much what it sounds like to me. That this is something that's happening between an old job that you are no longer at, that someone has you listed. And so the taxes and everything like that, somebody may have you, I don't know, somebody may have you as like an active member of something, an active employee somewhere. But somebody, because they have you on that still, because they have you on that, that's how they can file taxes with you just being listed as an active employee or active member somewhere. So that may be something I didn't check. That's something that you didn't check, that you may need to check. But the spirit is also implying that also may be something that you're not going to notice until August, or you need to I meant to say refine, but you may also need to refile something with your taxes. You may refile something after you realize that somebody has you as an active member or active employee somewhere, because something about that is important, because it may be interfering with a tax paper that you're going to get in the spring of this year. Or I don't know if this is a good, I don't know, something about last year, like August is important too. Something happened last year, August, 2021 August, and 2022 August, something needs to be refiled or revised in regards to some type of document and paperwork. So this is either some issue, I mean, it sounds like an issue, yeah. This sounds like something, I keep getting this idea of not noticing this. You don't notice something, like you don't notice something there, and that could be something that's going on with a partner, like a present one, or an ex partner, or a present job, or an old job. Okay, that's really interesting. I mean, that's possible. Like I've seen. I mean, I don't know. That's new. The moon is here as well, so the moon is sign of Pisces. All right, so you could be dealing with a Pisces as well, or it's the intuition would be pretty much what I just explained. It's an intuition, it's a needing to see card, whereas the High Priestess is you see, but the moon is you need to see. There's something that needs to be seen, but you might not notice or see something until August, particularly. Okay, and that's just sometimes things come into fruition or notice at the last minute. Sometimes that's something that you can't control, and it's a spiritual thing that you may not be able to control. So that's just how it is sometimes energetically. All right, so the moon, being that it's in the present, is telling me about the ex. You could have a Pisces that's an ex, or you need to see something about an ex, or you need to see something about what an ex did, right? The spirit is also giving me the idea that there's more than one of them. You may have more than one ex. You may have, I don't know if you've got more than one lover. You may have more than one partner, right? So something is a little shady that is going on with either like a current partner, or one of the exes that you've had in the past. Something is going on with one of them. One of them could be a Pisces. One of them could be a Pisces. Or you need to use your intuition about them or her. It's going to be a female. So it could be a friend. It could be a female friend that's a Pisces, female lover, present partner that's a Pisces. Something's going on with them that's really sneaky. Or there's fire sign, like I was getting like Leos, the Sag just underneath, right? There's a need to see what's going on with Leo, Sag, Pisces in your space. Could have an Aries there as well too. So Leo, Sag, Aries possibly, Pisces, that I get stolen information. So when I ran through all of them, something is stolen information going on with one of them. Or a few of them. It just depends. So these could be, they're coming through, like some of them are, for some of you, some of them are exes. But I also get current friends. Some of them are exes, some of them are current friends. And they either know something and they're not sharing that with you, with the moon, or they saw something and they're not sharing that with you with the moon. Or they did something and they're not telling you that, and they need to tell you, they need to talk about it. It just depends on what's going on. The future has the Eight of Swords in the future there. The instincts has the Justice, sign of Libra. So Libra, I get you need to talk to. A Libra you may need to talk to. That's why the Eight of Swords is next to the Libra in the Justice card. You need to talk to a Libra. If it's not only the sign of Libra, then it's justice to the situation. I get documentation usage. It's justice because of documentation usage that you don't see somebody has access to, or you don't see how someone has access to it or how they're using it. And the most important point about that is you being an active member or an employee of a situation that you're not going, there's a potential that you probably won't even notice that for some reason until August. Something about August is important, right? The Justice card is, what number is that? That's a 5, 6, 7, 8. The Justice card, major arcana number 8. So 8 is really important. It could be a date that has an 8 in it. So we're in January still. So January 8th, January 18, January 28, February 8, February 18, February 28, or August. So I'm doing that within that time period. So I'm looking at every date that has an 8 in it and the month of August as a whole. So look, in the 8 of Swords, there's like 3 8s here. All these 8s. That's going to be an important number for you, okay? But anyway, the justice with the Libra is that it's the Libra that it has copies. A Libra has copies of something that you had, right? A Libra may have copies of something that you had, or they have knowledge of something that was, when you left. They have knowledge of something that happened with your stuff when you left somewhere. They have knowledge of that, okay? Or it's a relationship. Like it could be a relationship and they have knowledge of what occurred after you left a relationship, if that makes any sense. After you got in one or after you got out of one, all right? The Princess of Swords energy is in the accomplishment, all right? So Princess of Swords, it could be a Libra that's a female. You could also show up as a Princess of Swords. Libra, Gemini, Aquarian, that is, they're younger than you. They're right next to the universe, right? Someone is nosy about them as well. That could be you. You may be nosy about something, or they're nosy about something. So that they could show up here as a new partner to you. They could be a new coworker, a new lover, a new friend. They're showing up there as they're something is nosy. Something being nosy is from the beginning what you were doing with the fire sign. They've been keeping a close eye on. And you may be concealing certain aspects of an old relationship from a new one, vice versa. I don't know if that's something that could be something that they're doing to you. They may have exes that follow them and troll. They may have ex-friends or ex-lovers that follow them and troll to see what, to see who, what you have going on, if that is someone that is new for you. They want to see, or something is, the spirit was giving an idea of interconnected. So who they once dealt with if they're new, who they once dealt with may be interconnected with someone that you once dealt with. They could be someone that you once dealt with, and I also get they have information you could benefit from. There's someone that you, if they're not in the present, there's someone that you once dealt with that they have information you can benefit from. You may have information someone can benefit from, if that makes any sense, right? They have information you can benefit from. And it's regarding an ex, that the ex could be a fire sign, right? They have information about a Leo, an Aries, a Sag. They don't have to be exes. They just have information about them. Or they could have been, I'm looking at all these papers flying around them too. All these papers. They could have been presented with information, like paper information, by the fire sign energies. But I'm feeling like that may be something that you don't know yet. Or they may never tell you. They may never tell you. Or they may keep to themselves. And the moon is that you're going to have some type of really interesting inkling by August. I get their involvement. You're going to have an interesting inkling of this element involvement by August. Something is important about their involvement with the justice and the instinct, the moon, and the 8 of Wands, and the universe. Right? Something is important about their involvement with you. Or I'll give you a really interesting example. So say you have a fire sign energy. One fire sign energy could be an ex to you. And then the Princess of Swords could be like a new, they're like a new partner. They either know someone that your ex dealt with or deals with, or they know of that person, or they know something about your ex or who your ex deals with. Like they know something of those people, or they know what happened, or they know what you're looking for. They know of something that you are looking for. I don't know if you know of something that they're looking for. That could be a possibility. Or they know that of you. They know that of you. But it has something to do with being an inactive or active member or employee somewhere. It has something that's very important to be aware of. All right. The Seven of Pentacles is in the spiritual self next to the Eight of Wands. So the Seven of Pentacles in the spiritual self would be, it could be lawsuit related. Something is law enforcement. Like the Justice could be, kind of gives me the idea of like just like a law enforcement in court, and something to be court related about something that a job did, or someone in a job, something that someone from an old job did or a new job did. Something may be court related about that, right? But I'm getting this feeling you could be questioning, you may be asking yourself how to question someone to obtain this type of information. That may be something that you need to do. So that could be a new lover you need to have that conversation with. That could be an ex-lover you need to, have a conversation with, right? Something is strange about that. Or someone in a new job that you need to have a conversation with. Because, especially, I'll give you a really interesting example. Say you have a 401k information that is transferable in between jobs. That may be something that you want to look into, or somebody could be on those things. Someone from an old job could be on that. You know what I mean? If you do have that. But I also get retirement insurance in general. So retirement insurance in general. That's why I was getting the idea of the banks and all those things from earlier on. Like retirement insurance. So you may have retirement insurance, or an ex has retirement insurance. A new partner needs to get retirement insurance. A new partner needs to get that. But something is going on with you not being, for some of you or somebody, for not being off of, not being, it does, the Spirit is trying to tell me, it has something to do with transferable documents. It does have something to do with that. And it has something to do with that, and also someone not transferring the documents or transferring the information. It has something to do with that as well. But for some reason, of course, that interferes with something new. That somehow interferes with. I also get leaving something for a partner. That interferes with you leaving something for a partner, potentially. Or that interferes with a partner leaving something for you. Right? That's why the Seven of Pentacles is in the spiritual self with the Failure next to the Eight of Wands. So you want to keep collecting from a new job so that you can add to your retirement insurance, but something is happening there because of something someone did not tell you or do from an old job or relationship. Something is important about that to pay attention to. The Death card is here, sign of Scorpio. All right. So the Death card is in the mentality with the Justice card. That brings in the sign of Scorpio. Or it's just Death card. It's just transition energy because of what is happening. Right? So the Death card in the mentality with the Justice, they kind of complement each other in a sense. Right? But I keep getting this idea of not going to know. You may not know, you may not find this something here as to what I'm interpreting, as to what I'm picking up. Something here is not coming into your, what's that part of the mind? It's not coming into your conscious mind yet, if that makes any sense. This is a multi-layered situation, and there's elements about it that some element about it may be really deep rooted in a past dealing that you don't notice may be deep rooted in a past dealing. There's something there that's really interesting. That's why the Death card is in the mentality. Or it's a sign of Scorpio. You know, you could be dealing with Scorpio. At Scorpio, you got Libra, you got fire sign, whether they're male or female. Scorpio, communication with the Scorpio, they may give you information. They may reveal something to you, or you need to have a conversation with them, but you may not. You know what's interesting about you is that you may not talk to someone that can give you a heads up on what is happening. But I mean, that happens. Sometimes that happens to people spiritually, where like it's like being connected with people that can't, what do you call that? It's like you are consciously choosing to connect with people that cannot give you intuitive advice, that they can't do it. They can't give you, or they refuse to. They can't, or they intentionally refuse to give you intuitive advice as to what you need to see. Like, yes, that's the kind of people that you're choosing to be around. And then the people that you're not choosing, the people that you're not consciously choosing to be around are the people that can give you the answers as to how to help you. The Nine of Swords is in a changing position. It's good to see the Nine of Swords in a changing position, because it's kind of like coming out of the dark, but not quite, because it's a 9. So it's like not quite. This is like a nightmare card to me. It's like coming out of the dark, but not 100%. It's like coming out of the dark 95%, not 100%. It's a 9. Okay? 9 of Swords. Right? The 9 of Swords is that there's more information that a Scorpio or a Libra needs to give you. There's more information that they need to give you. So before I put down the resolution, there's more information that someone needs to get this. I mean, as simple as people that you left behind, people that you ignore, people you don't pay attention to. Those people know how to help you, but you may be consciously choosing to surround yourself with people and situations that cannot help you. You know, I mean, that happens, but it's on a spiritual level that happens. You know, it's on a spiritual level that happens. The higher, I mean, you gravitate to people along the way, like bits and pieces, but it's like, I don't know, it's a spiritual thing that who you gravitate to and why. The Hierophant is here in the resolution going towards the 8 of Swords. So the Hierophant is a Taurus. Taurus in the resolution. You have Scorpio, you got Libra, Sag, Aries, Leo, Pisces. Right? You got all these signs here. I'm getting up front. So some of these people, they're up front. Some of them are not up front. Some are up front. Some of them are not up front. Right? Justice, Libra, Scorpio. Right? They may be very little being up front with you. They're not up front. They are not. You know? Like, someone can tell you something, whether it's a Scorpio or a Libra, but I mean, they may not be intuitively 100% sure themselves. So, you know, they may not be intuitively 100% themselves in terms of their own confidence with presenting you with something that you need to see. 8 of Swords in the future. That's why the 8 of Swords is there. Communication with them, particularly the Libra. Because the Libra, you may have been, you may have been under their thumb for some time. Scorpio, I don't know. I don't know if you had the Scorpio under your thumb for some time, or somebody had you under their thumb for a while and you didn't see something there, okay? You didn't see something. So before I do the outcome, this has a lot to do. There's a couple of different situations here that I am picking up on. One is something that you had unfinished. That's why I was getting the idea of finishing and unfinished. Something you had going on with an ex or multiple exes. There's something that happened there that needs to be seen. Something also has something to do with a financial institution. That's another important point to make. Down payments and taxes. And then another important point would also be being somebody having you as an active member or an employee. Okay, I'll give you a really interesting example. Say during the pandemic, say you were working somewhere, but you didn't necessarily leave that job. Say you didn't necessarily leave the job. Like, you didn't take your paperwork or anything away or anything. You didn't tell them that you quit, whatever it is. But you kept yourself as an active member there. That's knowing or that's unknowing. You kept yourself, or you were kept as an active member or an inactive member. But somebody's, reaping benefit from that somehow. But the way it's done is through employment insurance or retirement insurance. So that's something that you need to communicate with an ex or a current partner. Something like that could be happening to an ex or a current partner. Or then something that you may not even notice until like the end of the year almost. I don't know, or the summer. You may not pick up on something until the summer. The 5, what do you call it? The Hierophant is Taurus. So the Hierophant, that's 5, and you've got, what is this? 13. I'm not counting that. I'm only looking at, you got all these 8s here. You have all these 8s. 7 could be July. All these 8s right here could be August. The 5 could be May. Something may be important about May of this year for you too. I think that's right in April, May. That's tax. That is tax season. So that is tax season. It's right in the spring. Sometimes people don't get their taxes together until like August, or they don't get something back, or they can't put, it's maybe going all the way to August. So it's important to be aware of that. So like I said, the main points would be the inactive and active member or employee, and then the documentation and the ex, something that the ex did, or or the new partner did, something that you're trying to do for a new partner, something that a new partner secretly knows, or whatever. Moon, which is interesting. Traveling to get something done. Whatever it is. 8 of Swords. In the future. There's a lot of different things. That's this reading. There's a lot of things happening. And communication that needs to happen. Alright, let's do an outcome here. Okay, 9 of Swords again. 3 of Cups. Oh no, I'm not doing the same outcome for that. This is the outcome for this. What's the outcome? The outcome for this. These cards are so stiff. What's an outcome for this? An outcome. Alright, see how that popped out? So I let it, sometimes I speak it out without pulling. 3 of Wands is here. Let me just keep it like that. The Sun, which is Leo, and Queen of Cups. So Queen of Cups could be a new partner. Queen of Cups could be an ex or a friend. That's why I said did I say Pisces? You got Pisces, could be male or female. Leo, male or female, and whatever other fire sign. Aries, Sag is underneath. Alright, so 3 of Wands with the Sun. The Queen of Cups is that there could be success with the fire sign. There could be. Or you could be if you, but I also feel like it has something to do with where documents are going, or where they went to. That's another, or it's just information where the information is going, where it went. Documents, where they're going, where they went, right? Things of that nature from the beginning, dealing, rekindling something with the fire sign. I see. The reason why it's important to rekindle something with the fire sign is, or the air sign, there's a lot of air here, or keeping something strong, is that they have access. So the reason you should keep something strong with them is because they have access to something. They have access to something. Or you're going to find out that they have access to something that you're going to find out that they do. So I'll give you a really interesting example. This is like maybe you had, I'm going to see it this way. Say you have I'm going to give an example. Say you have retirement insurance for one job, and you have somebody that you were dealing with that they became an ex. You intentionally put them on it as a beneficiary, and you could have a really bad falling out with them and you wanted them off, but you can't get them off if that's the case. You can't. So the idea is to rekindle something with them, or being nice to them, so that they, I don't know, so they won't put somebody on it, but they have access to it somehow. They have access to it. This is like you could have given someone that became an ex, you gave them access to some type of insurance or 401k, and you could have given them that kind of access. And the fear, Eight of Swords with the moon and all that, the fear would be them having access could be that they can add somebody to it. They could, that's possible. So that's happening with people from an old job or a new one, or an ex person or a new person. So figure it out. All right, Gemini, that's your reading. Be well. Take care. Bye.